He was going good.
Yeah, I know.
It up at the end, but it was good.
How's it going, people, and welcome to the Supporters Club, a brand new regular debate show right here on AFTV, hosted by myself, Turkish. Today I have with me Lee, Kelechi and Robbie, very well-known Arsenal fans, and we're here to discuss Leicester at home, Monday. So Lee, starting with you, how do you feel?
I feel fairly confident that we can get the result. It's going to be interesting, if I'll be honest, team selection, because our friend Mesut Ozil didn't play in the game against Fulham. Yeah. Whether he'll come straight back into the team would be an interesting debate. And also, of course, Aubameyang didn't play as well. So with the international break, those two guys, you would.
So what would you do?
I would try and keep it as close as possible to the team against Fulham, but I think if somewhere along the line you've got to get Aubameyang in. I'll change that a bit. But, who would you leave out? Welbeck or Robbie's been playing really well as well, so it's a real difficult... I should have said that, shouldn't I?
He's ready now.
No, so Robbie would drop Robbie. No, it's going to be a difficult one on that, on what to do, because, obviously like Ramsey as well, whether he comes back in. But I'll try, like 1-5-1 at Fulham. If it was me, I'd keep it the same team. I know that's a little bit controversial with that, but that's what I do.
Do you know what it is? When that team came out, I don't know how you lot feel, but it was Iwobi, Welbeck and Mickey. I think the first time them three played behind the striker, I think it was because of the Europa League. We was pretty shocked with that three behind Laka. Performed well, 1-5-1, but Iwobi's obviously, I think Iwobi deserves to start, but Aubameyang came on, scored 2 goals, so Kelechi.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if we played a 4-2-3-1 that day. I think we played a 4-4-2 in the first half. I think it was Welbeck and Lacazette striking, which was a surprise. And they played on, and I can understand what Lee's saying, but I think personally that Mesut Ozil plays better at home when he's at home. And
I agree.
Orchestrates the play, and Leicester, they've been okay this season, and they've got my Nigerian brother Didi there as well, and Iheanacho, and those boys can do magic. So I think Mesut should start. Whether he fits into the 4-4-2 formation, I don't know. But I think, at home, the manager likes the 4-2-3-1. So, personally, I think he should start, and I think Iwobi should start. Mkhitaryan, he's coming back from Armenia, might be tired. We play on Monday, luckily, so they have enough time to recover. But, I think I'll disagree with my friend.
So, Iwobi keeps his spot, Ozil comes in.
Of course, my man that was bossing it in Africa.
I'm just confirming.
No, you don't need to confirm, you need to see. My brother, seeing is believing here. You understand? Boy was bossing it there, playing number 10, passing everywhere. My brother, we are almost qualified for the Nations Cup, so relax. You understand? There's more to come from the boy. Well, we have blessed the boy, we have blessed him, we have blessed the boy with the Obi and there, nothing there.
But I want to see more, that's it, I'm all for that, do you get it? So listen, whatever you have to do with that, listen, as long as it makes him better, that's it. Rob, what are you saying?
Yeah, you know what, like these guys are saying, it's a hard one, because like Lee said, we played so well in that game.
Yeah.
You look on it and say, should you change it? I thought Welbeck was excellent in that game as well as Iwobi was excellent, but I thought Welbeck as well, even though he didn't score and really get assists, but he was excellent. His work rate and everything was brilliant. And the team just had a balance about it.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about that team. For one of the first times away from home in a long, long time, that team looked balanced. That even when it went 1-1 at half time, I was still quite confident the way we played in that first half that we can still get a result here. So to change that team is a tough one. But then Mesut Ozil,
Star man.
tell you, like you said, at home, he plays well.
He plays better. I'm not saying he plays bad. Before fans will come and say that they said on AFTV, he's nonsense outside. Nonsense, so he plays better.
No, but listen, he's been playing all right so far. Ever since the manager dropped him, which is, listen, I hear all these things about he was injured and that. He was dropped, right, for that game. He had the training ground bust up. Yep. He was dropped. Ever since he's come back from that, he was playing good. Remember, he scored a couple of goals as well. I know Lee's not always his biggest fan, but I don't know Lee.
When it comes to Mesut Ozil, I have to say that I think he's a fantastic footballer, but you can't rely on him. You know what I mean? Like he has a couple of games, so you're going to leave somebody out for him, and then you're going to, you know, like it's back spasms or it's whatever, or his granny's cat's ill. You know what I mean? It's one thing, you can't rely on him too much, and all of a sudden, you know, he'll play 2 or 3 games, and then all of a sudden you expect him to be in the team. No one can say that they didn't expect him to be in the team against Fulham. I did, and then all of a sudden, you know, everybody's going to their phones looking and seeing what's wrong with him. And I just feel that, you know, I do slightly agree with what Kelechi's saying, that we're at home. Sometimes they're going to pack the defence. You're going to have someone that's going to open it up. He's more than likely to be that player. But does anybody deserve to be dropped? That's the question I'm asking. You know, does anybody deserve to be dropped from that team?
It's a welcome headache if you ask me. Nobody deserves to be dropped, but it's a headache that I want to have. Of course. I mean, if we're going to play...
So if it's a Robbie, you're all right with that then, yeah?
No, wait. Let's not go into that. No, let's not go into that. It's a team effort, you understand? Anybody that gets dropped will get dropped. Some people will get hooked off at halftime. The last time Iwobi or Guendouzi was Iwobi hooked off at halftime. He wasn't having a bad game, but it was a tactical decision, and we have to respect it. So anybody that gets dropped has to respect it. After all, Germany, they are missing Ozil. That's why they've lost the last 2 games.
That's a fact. Ramsey, though, as well. Do you drop after? We all know that Ramsey's a guy that, like, when he's on a little flow, when he's got a confidence going, he can be a devastating player as well, right? Now, after scoring that goal and coming on and making such an impact,
but the celebration,
it's hard to drop him as well, isn't it?
What do you think about the celebration of Ramsey?
It's like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. That's what he's saying. It's not my fault. Moreover, will I start him or not? I want to sound like Ty. I don't know if I will start him because he might be nursing his child, you understand? He's a new dad. And I know that you dads, you know, people try to keep the child asleep throughout the morning. He might be sleeping in the field, you understand? So I don't know if I will start him.
I didn't interpret that as that.
This was what he was doing. And I think he was just...
It's not my fault. Do you think that I didn't interpret it as that?
Well, I mean...
Did you interpret it as that?
No, I don't know what he's talking about.
You know when he done it, you know when he scored the goal?
Yeah.
And then he jumped up in front of the fans and he sort of went like...
Yeah, then he pumped his fist and everything.
I thought that was more like...
It's a classic goal.
As if to say, wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't mean it, but wow. I don't know, I didn't take it as... It's not my fault that I'm leaving.
We know that he's going. It's a bye-bye.
Yeah.
Or it's not my fault. Something along the contract lines, obviously.
I took it similar to that. Good. What Pippa said, that it's like he scored the goal and he's like, this is what I do.
That's a word
this
he
is
should
what
be
I
celebrating. Like, oh my God, now he's going like this. It was quite a muted celebration, if you ask me.
For the goal, for that goal.
Yeah, for that goal. It's a muted celebration.
Oh, I think, like, you know, us fans are a bit fickle if we're like, now we're looking at celebrations and like going into it too much detail. I don't think there was anything in it. I think he was probably shocked how good the goal was, because it was an unbelievable goal. You know,
we've got Arsenal back, Lee.
Yeah, we've got our Arsenal back. But every pass that was going along on that thing was going, oh, please score from this, score from this. And when he did, everybody was going mad because of it. So I don't know, but like going back to the Ramsey thing, that's another interesting one. I don't know how you guys feel. I felt that we managed that game fantastically well. You know, it was a stage when, you know, maybe they were getting a bit tired, Fulham, and you bring on the 2 players or 3 players that we did, and you know, after Welbeck and Iwobi had run them ragged, I thought it was a good plan, worked out, which we haven't seen for a few seasons.
Sticking to that and coming off individuals a bit, we haven't held a lead at half-time so far this season. What's the reason behind that? Dodgy
defence. Simple as that, you know, like, I don't think they're good enough.
But then there's even, let's say, was it Everton and Watford 0-0 at half-time? The defence done well, but the attack was a bit stagnant.
Yeah,
it's like we don't start games.
I'm still not convinced with our defending, you know, and going a game against Fulham, if Monreal would have walked past me at half-time, he'd be dead now, you know what I mean? It was absolutely like a most experienced player giving away something stupid, you know what I mean? Like, you know, now, I don't give it whether it's Arsene Wenger or Emery. You know, you don't do things like that with a minute to go, you know, an experienced defender.
Did the same thing at Cardiff, didn't we?
Same thing, give away. So, you know, and they've got to start learning from their mistakes on these things. And I think defensively we're not quite where we should be, if I'll be honest. But in other areas we're looking good. And, you know, we do, I think, was it against Everton? I know we won that game, but Petr Cech was made save after save, 3 or 4 one-on-ones. We've got to improve on that.
Definitely. What do you think?
Defence definitely needs improving. But I think it's getting better. I do see signs of the defence getting better. I mean, for instance, I was thinking about it the other day. How many times this season have we conceded a goal from a corner, which used to be a regular thing with Arsenal?
That's it. Leicester will get one now, won't they?
But we've improved in that. I saw some stat where it said that clearances, Mustafi's got some of the best stats in the Premier League for clearances. I think so. We're really looking at them really closely on some of the other things, but there's some things that they are definitely doing much better than they've done in the past. And I still think that this team's growing and getting better. I really do. I mean, I was chatting to some fans of some other clubs the other day, and they were like, yeah, well, you like really played no one. Yeah, you're on a run. And I was saying, well, listen, last season, those teams we were losing to, some of those teams, especially away from home. At home we were strong, but away from home we were losing those sort of games. Games where we were down, you know, I know what you just said about half-time, but games where we were down away from home last season, we were losing. Wow. Games last season where teams came back, where we went 1-0 up.
Swansea.
As soon as a team equalised or something, we just, even in the crowd, we just sensed that it's all going to go downhill from here. I think one of the reasons why people were even singing we got our Arsenal back is that I don't think nobody was overstressed at that game when they equalised on half-time. I still think that people thought, you know what, we're playing so well that we can go out there in the second half and we can score again. So I think we're improving in all areas, but I agree with Lee, we've still got a way to go. And it still is that sort of full-back area. The two centre-halves ain't done too bad this season, I don't think. Socrates, I think, has been quite decent. But I still think we get done out wide too much. Not to say that, because Bellerin played brilliantly against Fulham.
Yeah.
And is definitely improving as a player, but I just still feel that out wide, we allow too many crosses to come in, we get beaten too easy out wide, and our problems seem to stem in games from wide.
Well, if you say so, I mean, it depends on who starts, isn't it? If you start Aubameyang on the left, he won't track back every time. If you're playing Ramsey number 10 and playing Ozil on the right, he's not going to drop back. So you can't really blame the fullbacks.
Whereas Iwobi's come in and done the balance.
Exactly. He's doing that balance. So
Ozil can't play on the right.
Exactly.
I've had enough of that.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's the one thing with Emery. That I'm like, every time he's done that, I'm like, Unai, come on, man. We've from Wenger days. It don't work. You cannot play that guy on the right-hand side, right? Because you get, basically, you're just saying to Bellerin, you're on your own, son.
Yeah. That's it.
And it's unfair.
And he gets slaughtered for it, as it happens, Bellerin. I think he gets a little bit of a harsh deal on it because he does get exposed. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the good sides, down the line, they had combinations where you'd have like a partnership. Well, he hasn't got a partnership with Mesut Ozil. You put somebody else out, even like Mkhitaryan or someone like that. At least they'd do a little bit of work. I'm not saying that Ozil doesn't work back. He does track back, but he's not gonna hit a 50-50 tackle and things like that. Sometimes where you need that, like say in the old days, Lauren had Ray Parlour doing that for him. Those days are not. So I feel a little bit sorry for Bellerin in that.
But still, even without that, I still think down the flanks. Like you said in that game, Monreal, what was he doing there on half-time?
Yeah, I think we're not strong enough.
If you remember that Fulham game as well, right at the start, Bellerin.
Yeah, give the ball away.
Pass the ball back into no man's land.
I thought that was actually Xhaka's fault for not receiving that ball.
Xhaka could have done better to try and get to it, but it wasn't his fault. That was Bellerin. He passed the ball into no man's land, right? And we could have conceded from that as well. So I still think we're a bit sloppy on the flanks. If we tighten that up, but we're getting better, and definitely Torreira in front of them
let's look good.
is making a difference.
Now, we've got a long way to go, and Emery's job is the hardest job for a manager, I think, this season, because everything was gone from Arsenal. The mentality, the support, everything was gone. But he's slowly brought the support back. Hence that we've got our Arsenal back. That chant there was because we was getting along. The vibe was great. The atmosphere was like the old days. So that's why that chant came back. So now he's got the support back and we're all united and there's no more this side of Arsenal fans and that side of Arsenal fans. We're all focused and content where we're at right now. 9 wins, 6 in the league. last time that's happened, I think we date 4 or 5 years back that we've won 8 in a row in all competitions. So
yeah, positive, isn't it? It is from that side. It is
away.
Positive.
Yeah,
it is good that Emery come out this week as well and said, look, you know, we need to improve. He's not like sitting on his laurels, which is what as a fan you want, isn't it? You know what I mean? There is that there is a good vibe about it at the moment, like, you know, that they're not going to. I always felt at times, I shouldn't say it really, but I will. There's always that defeat round the corner that, you know, you think you're going to go and win this game, but I feel that Emery's not going to allow those players to relax to that. Hence, with the teams that he's picking, you know, for the League Cup ties and also the Europa League game, it seems there's competition based on every game.
Yeah.
And I quite like that, if I've been honest.
I like that as well. I like the fact that, you know, he's going to these games. Like you said, the other day, the game for the Carabao Cup, I was like, whoa, that's a strong team, you know what I mean? And I like the fact that he's saying to them, listen, we're going to try and win every game.
Yeah.
I think over the years when Wenger was there, that's one of the things I never used to like, is like almost like an attitude, like certain games like they don't matter, or everybody, you get the time off. You know, how many times have we used to see Ozil, you know, away in Turkey or something like that, taking pictures and things like that when the rest of the team are playing Europa League games and things like that. So I like his attitude as well with that.
Yeah. Now we're dragging him along everywhere as well, bringing him on Europa League. Ozil's playing in every competition, and we pay him. He's star man. We pay him that wages. He needs to be there at times we need. But again, we can't rely on him much because of how he's been with us. But
he's got to step up now, hasn't he?
100%. He has got to step up.
I think, you know, with the rest of the players really stepping up, and as I said, I don't think he's done badly this season, by the way. But I look at like Hazard at Chelsea and I say, Mesut, you've got you know, maybe you're not as good as Hazard, but you've got similar talents and skills within your game in that, you know, you're technically brilliant. You need to show that now 24/7. You know what I mean? Every single game you play, you need to show that. That's what I just feel.
I just feel we shot ourselves in the foot with him because I've liked Ozil for a long time before Arsenal. I didn't like that he picked Germany, but that's another subject. He is not a player you can rely on. Even before he came to us, he is not a player you can rely on in a tough game. The only thing you can rely on Ozil for is to create 3-4 chances a game. So it's up to the strikers to finish them, and then we win the game and it looks good on Ozil, or the strikers don't finish them, we lose the game, and then our star man is picked out, or the highest earner is picked out as what was he doing in that game. And he consistently creates these chances, but you can't rely on him in a 0-0 to drag us through to the win or to drag us back from a 1-0.
I think that's a bit harsh. If you're relying on somebody to create the chances, technically you're relying on him. I remember the game against Liverpool last season. He was the one that brought us back. He ran the show. So it happens, and that we didn't have any business coming back, to be honest.
But his attributes, what I mean is his attributes don't allow us to, like, if the game's not going our way, even Iwobi can change a game better than Ozil, because Iwobi can pick up the ball, run at a team, and just charge power, strength, everything. Whereas Ozil picks up the ball, he's a bit laboured, he's constantly looking around. That doesn't change.
He passes the ball. I disagree with you. Give him the movement. Iwobi, pace, power, everything. Yeah, that's his own skill set. Ozil has his own skill set. Give him the movement, he'll pick you out and you score. And it's credit to the team. I think you can rely on him, especially at home. Personally, I think so. You know,
Mesut Ozil, he's always going to divide opinion. You know, I'd love to go back into the 80s and go back to Charlie Nicholas. Do you remember, like, Charlie Nicholas is the same sort of player.
Champagne
like,
John.
you know what I mean? Everybody loved him, and did he really do it? And you put him into this world now with Twitter and social media, you know, they'd be getting stung left, right and centre. But he was that sort of player that could open up a game and turn a game. Very similar sort of, not same player, but same sort of attitude and things like that. And I get both sides of it, you know what I mean? Like, we're 0-0 or 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go. Mesut Ozil would, I think, drifts out of the game instead of comes into the game, you know? That's my personal opinion, you know? But there are times, you know, what Kelechi's saying there, when you need someone to create a chance, he does create it, and if we miss it, you know, then people go, oh, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. He's not in the side to make tackles and run back and everything like that. He's there to create. But I think he's a luxury, you know, for a team that's probably pushing for Champions League titles, you know what I mean? That sort of team, not a team that's where we are.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit more of a luxury that we need those workers. I'll go back to, Aaron Ramsey plays in that role. I think that Mesut Ozil creates a lot more, but work rate and things like that, you'd have Aaron Ramsey in it, particularly in those away games. I'll go back to the game against Manchester City when we played up there. I think that's the last time we beat a top four side. We had Cazorla in the hole, Ramsey and Coquelin doing the work, and it worked. And Mesut Ozil didn't play in that game. Another back spasm, I suppose. That's where you are.
They complemented each other well.
Yeah, they complemented each other well. And he's a luxury that I'm going to say it. You know what I mean? If Emery doesn't find, Emery will be the one that will go. You know what I mean? He's got to find somewhere that's going to fit him in. And I agree with Robbie. It ain't wide right. You know what I mean? So it's a difficult situation.
Yeah. 100%. So you think if it comes down to Emery or Ozil, you think it'd be Emery to
No, what I'm saying is that he loses his job. It's not like where Wenger's got a free pass for a few years. If Emery doesn't do it, then he's capable to lose his job or whatever. So he's the one now that's going to have to make that decision. And
I think you guys have been a bit harsh towards Ozil, to be honest. If you look at distance covered in the game, he's amongst the top 2, top 3. He's always up there. You need the distance.
Well, let him get on the running track then, do some running it's about football, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. He creates chances, he sprints as well to make himself available as well. So it's not all bad.
No, I agree, but it's his style. But I agree with you, but his style allows people to pick at him. Yeah, when he's running, he runs a hell of a lot. He runs a hell of a lot during games, but a lot of his running is to create space for himself or others, which is positive, it's good. But then, when you need to change a game, running into space is not what we need from the guy that's on 350 bags. We need him to pick up the ball.
Running into space.
I think you've got to look at it.
He's in space. He'll score now. Yeah.
Remember Leicester 2 years ago when they were going to win the league? Well, when they won the league.
Yeah.
February 1-1.
Yeah. And Danny Welbeck scored. Who gave the assist?
Exactly, but the main thing. But what was the main story behind that? Welbeck saved the day for Arsenal. It wasn't Ozil. Creates. That's why a creator doesn't get as much attention as the guy finishing.
So you blame the people not giving him the attention, the praise. He's doing his work.
I think I'll ask the question. Do people talk about Messi and his work rate? Do they talk about Ronaldo and his work rate? Do they talk about all the best players, Zico in his day, Zidane in his day, players like that?
Even David Silva now.
David Silva. You can go on, De Bruyne and all that. Why? Does everybody want to criticise him? Why is there?
Because of his body language.
Because, there you go. So, that is a debate.
Not just the body language. Body language, yes. But I also still think, though, that those guys that you named out, when the chips are down, they're like, give me the ball.
Yeah, that's
and they will make something happen. And I'm not sure Ozil...
They will make something happen because they have Aguero in front of them scoring the goal.
No, but what team...
If you look at the World Cup, when we were blaming the guy for the World Cup mess and all that, and people check the stats, man, them created so many chances in the World Cup. They refused to convert it. No, it's fault.
No, but Kelechi, those players that Lee just named out, right? They're players that when the chips are down, yeah? They're like, give me the ball, they go and make something happen. I'm not sure Ozil always does that. We know he can create assists, but sometimes he's been accused of, like, when things are not really working for us, he disappears a bit.
Chips down against Liverpool, 2-1 at Highbury. Just been knocked out to Chelsea in the Champions League, like half-time, 2-1 down. Thierry Henry comes on, steps it up, you know what I mean, gets that trick, we win the game. Mesut Ozil is never going to do that. He's never going to do that.
You're not going to be known as a great if you don't do that, to me.
But that's not his work. Why are you not telling me Pires picked up the ball and scored a goal? Why are you not telling me...
Robert Pires
let me Fabregas, the creator...
Let me compare...
Fabregas was creating... If you look at his stats with Fabregas' stats, Fabregas was mostly a creator. He wasn't scoring those amount of goals. But he doesn't get that criticism.
No, he's a younger player at those times, I think. Let me compare him to a player. The one player that I always look at and think, Ozil, you should be as good as this guy, is Kevin De Bruyne. They're very similar styles and stuff like that in the way they play, the way they are and that. I just feel that De Bruyne will stamp his authority on a game more
It's still
the
the
Mesut.
same.
And I want to see Mesut because
I slightly disagree with that. I would say it was probably David Silva was more.
Or David Silva, or you can compare him to a David Silva as well. And I just think that those guys stamp their authority on a game a bit more than Mesut does.
I don't know, man. For me,
There's no denying he's not a great. Listen, I love him. I love him as a player.
Yeah.
But I want to see more. I want to see him
for me, it's about body language people are talking about. You know when people give Hollywood pass, De Bruyne, sure we're allowed to stand. They will jog pass and then they will jog. You think that they're playing well? Ozil will give pass, and maybe, you say body language, you say the other one is better. No, Ozil is still the same thing. It's just that you have Aguero there that is finishing off. You understand? I don't want to disrespect anybody in my team, but you may have people that are not.
No, I get you. You build a team around someone like someone that's your star man.
Authority more, you know what I mean? Robert Perez never put a tackle in, but he stamped his authority on games.
I just
He
see
made a difference.
He made
it mattered. When it mattered, games like that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People keep going. Mesut Ozil's been here for 5 years, right? You look at Robert Perez, same sort of player.
Another game
How many times did he do it?
away? Who has that nerve? Tell me if David Silva will score that kind of goal in his life. Ludo Gores away, 2-2 to Ludo Gores or whatever.
But hold on, Kelechi.
Whatever you say, yeah. We're almost dead in that game.
It was a fantastic goal.
You understand? It was a fantastic. He held his nerves.
But I want to see that. I want to.
But
Kelechi, I want to see that against Liverpool.
Are you trying to tell me that he did not grab the game on the scruff of his neck and change the game?
Kelechi.
That's what you're saying.
Kelechi, I want to see that against Liverpool away.
Yeah.
Man City away. Chelsea
which is hard
away,
to do.
Not Ludogorets. Yes, that was a fantastic goal. It's amazing. Not that I say not Ludogorets. Yes, Ludogorets, but I want to see that against some of the big boys as well.
I've seen Ronaldo come down to the Emirates, win a game on his own.
Yeah.
I've seen Messi do it, win a game on his own at the Emirates.
Hazard.
I've seen Hazard win a game at the Emirates. I've seen Harry Kane come and win a game. Down the Emirates. I have not seen Mesut Ozil.
Have you seen David Silva come down to the Emirates?
I've seen last season when they won 3-0.
Yeah.
I have not seen. It was him. Really, was Kevin De Bruyne.
I'm not saying it's all down to Mesut Ozil, but what I'm saying is I want to see Mesut Ozil go to Wembley or White Hart Lane or the park down the road wherever Spurs are playing this week, right? And I want to see him turn up and put in a performance like Robert Perez has done. That's all I'm saying. And you know what I mean, justify the backing and support that he gets from all fans. And I forget about what he's on. I don't care what money he's on. That's a different issue. But at the end of it, what I want to see is Mesut Ozil produce when it really matters for Arsenal. Yeah. And that is in a big game. And when he does that, I think there'll be no one more happier than me.
And we forget that this is the man that nearly broke Henry's assist record. So the talent is there for him to do this by his consistency.
In most of the big games at home, he has been playing well.
He should score more goals as well.
Against Chelsea, that beautiful goal from the Alexis assist. There's so many goals.
I actually want to see him score more goals as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Agreed.
I want to see him score more goals as well. I think sometimes he's too generous.
Yeah.
He'll be in positions where he can shoot a goal and
he's done that once this season. Cut it back to someone.
Yeah, he'll be looking to cut it off. You know, I mean, get yourself
I don't think
on
no one's
sheet.
disagreeing that he's a wonderful player. I think we need to say that he is a wonderful player.
Of course.
But he has flaws.
Yeah. And you know what? Forget about the individuals now. Obviously, Leicester home Monday. Whatever teams put out, I'm confident of the win.
Yeah.
But we'll start with Lee. Prediction, Lee.
I'm going to be very bold and think that we'll win it 3-1.
I'm going for the clean sheets. No, clean sheets.
Yeah.
3-0.
3-0. And Rob.
I agree.
He won't be to score. Sorry, he won't be.
We knew that anyway.
I agree with Lee actually. I fancy 3-1 as well. I do. I was so gutted this international break because I think if we would have played them the week after,
would have been.
But
I think
still.
Vardy will score. Vardy will score.
Yeah, because he always scores.
Okay. Nacho will score.
No,
Vardy always scores.
You're not scoring anything. He's not scoring anything.
Vardy always scores against us, don't he? Always.
No, this is a new breed of defence.
3-1 on go. 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, to be honest, I agree with all three of you. I think we'll get 3 goals minimum. On the other side of things, we've done well in the last couple with clean sheets, but I'm going to always ask put one against us because of
although we're going to, as well as Vardy as well, we've got to watch that Maguire. He's good coming up at set pieces. So we're going to have to
and Madison.
Madison,
yeah.
Chilwell as well as in it. So they've got some good.
It'll be a difficult game, but I think
players.
we've got too much firepower. If I'll be honest,
I'm gonna go for. I'll change it a bit. 4-0. Just so it's a bit different.
I'll have what you're drinking.
That vodka over there.
But yeah, obviously, thanks for coming down today, and thank you for tuning in. This is the Supporters Club. Make sure you like, share, retweet, do all of that stuff, and yeah, tune in next time.